Okay, new video. Um, Really, the purpose of this is to try and get myself to be a little more confident in front of the camera because I started in 2021 doing video diaries of my training and where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do. Um, and that fell off obviously because I'm an undisciplined shit. Um, Made another video December of last year where I and just a preface like I on the day that I'm recording this I decided I'm going to upload everything to YouTube. Screw what people think obviously cuz it's about full transparency with not only people but with myself. And so the purpose is going to be to get better at recording videos, um, and I'll get to the goals I want to achieve. But really, in December of last year, I got some news that I had FSHD, and I was very, very dejected after hearing that news. So much so that I fell into a slump. I didn't want to do a lot of things really. I tried to stay positive, but it it gets hard sometimes. So I'm gonna start with where I'm at in my life right now. And in the future, when I look back at this video and I want to see what progress I've made, then that's great. And if I see I haven't made any progress, then I'll kick myself uh, and do better. So let's go. Right now, I am employed as a student teacher at my local high school, the town I've grown up in, lived in all my life. Not really happy about not having moved out, but everything works out the way it's supposed to. What I mean by that is I have gotten more religious. I have started following God a lot more than I did in the past. I think I've always believed in God to a certain extent. There have been times where I just didn't feel any connection with him, didn't see any point in anything. Not that I was ever like a nihilist or anything. I always have been a pretty hopeful person, um, but not to the extent that I am now. I've gotten really better at praying, reading the Bible. I'm still a long way off from where I'm supposed to be. I feel like because there's a reason why the things that are happening now are happening. And to me, it was very hard to understand exactly why until I got more religious, until I started praying more. And without even receiving straightforward answers, I would get answers. And so my biggest struggle was, or even my biggest question was, why would God do this to me? Why would He why would the disease I have that limits me in so many ways, I always worried about getting to where I want to go, doing exactly what I want to do when I want to do it. And I had to change a lot of things about my life, um, all the goals I had set, especially especially pertaining to my physical goals, what I wanted to achieve in training, what I wanted to be able to physically do. And I think the answer was made clear to me a while back. And I've been telling this to people. I don't like it when people get all mushy and try to express sympathy to me all the time, because they like come up to me, they'd say, yeah, it's bad, it's oh. And to me the answer was made clear. It's that my achievements are not solely my achievements. The achievements I work towards and that I attain are a combination of the hard work I put in, which is important, but also the talents that God has given me. And had I not come to that realization, had I just went on the way I did with no setbacks, no struggles placed in my way, I feel like my ego would have grown to such an extent where I would not get all of the rest of the things I want out of life. And mind you, these aren't, well, some of them might be a little selfish to a certain extent, but they're not inherently selfish desires. Because I want to get married one day. I want to be able to financially provide for the ones I care about the most. Um, and not only care for them, but give them everything that they want. And for me to place myself lower than others, which is kind of the point of marriage in the first place, right? Placing yourself below someone to uplift them, to sacrifice for them because you are selfless. You want to see the best out of the people you love. And had this not come to me, had I not been blessed with a struggle, I feel like my arrogance would have gotten the best of me, probably to the extent where I would refuse to do any work on myself, especially if it was needed. And hard work is hard. That's why they call it hard work, right? You don't you don't get to where you want to go without sacrificing a piece of yourself. And so right now, I am probably the most hopeful I've been in my life, despite everything being worse off in regards to health, finances, relationships, even though relationships are getting back on track. Because I was a recluse for near on 2 years of my life where I would just shut myself off from people. I'd go to work, get back home, stay at home, go to the gym, get back home, stay at home. No social interaction. And I guess it all comes back to the way things are meant to be. Because without that season where I would have realized that, I am supposed to train my body, I am supposed to become better in that aspect, but that's not the only thing I should be better at. And I found self improvement and I found God. And I had a great idea because you see, the self improvement guys, they talk about productizing yourself, the one man business model, getting on the internet. Um, I say too much also, so that's something I'm gonna work on. The self improvement guys say to productize yourself, become the one man business model, monetize yourself. Well, I can't do that, right? At least not yet. But the truth of the matter is, if anyone is going to watch this, and if anyone is going to watch this in the future, and maybe, just maybe, I get somewhere, and someone sees this, and they see humble beginnings of sort, you have to start somewhere. This is my ground zero. This is where I start. It's not easy for me to do this, but anything that's worth getting is hard. Like we've said, anything that's worth getting is hard, and practice makes perfect. So I'm going to start doing this to any extent, really. Just talking about things that I'm passionate about, things that I know a little bit about, and also just talking about things that I just don't know in any capacity, that I'm going to learn and I'm going to get better at, and I will get better at it. Because putting this on the internet is the perfect method of accountability. If you think about it, it's like if anyone was going to see this and they saw me a few years down the line and they say, "Oh, well, I thought you said you were going to do this. How far are you along in that?" And then I'd have one of two answers. I'd say, "Well, yeah, I learned that and I got better at it. And I feel like I can monetize that. I learned a skill that now I can transfer to other people." Or I could say, "No, you know what? I did say I was going to learn it, but I just didn't because I'm weak." So, perfect measure of accountability, this video right here. All of the videos I'm going to make from now on going forward, perfect for accountability. People are going to see it. They're going to say, "Hey, you said you were going to do that. Did you do it?" And I could say one of two things. I could say, "Yeah, I did." Or I can make some bullshit excuse on why I didn't. So this is probably going to be the longest video out of all of those I make going forward because I want to set this as ground zero. I want to kind of explain the situation like I have at the moment. I feel like I've expanded on that enough. And so going forward, weight and progression in the gym, like the videos I made on my training, the video diaries, the one I made about me talking about FSHD, which was very emotional for me. But at that time, I didn't know I was going to put it on the internet. Um, so I'm feeling a little awkward right now because I'm making this video with the realization that I am making it to put it on YouTube and um, get myself lambasted or something like that. But I'm talking about my training now, and I'm not going to always talk about training, but I'm going to talk about it now because I want to set myself some goals. I want to set myself up for success in the future or um, embarrassment in case I didn't achieve what I wanted to. So, in the video I made on my um, diagnosis on FSHD, I said that I would never be able to bench press or overhead press or any of those types of things. And the fact of the matter is, it's still going to be very difficult for me to even try that. So I'm not doing conventional things because unconventional situations require unconventional solutions. It's the way it is. It's the way I'm going to work going forward. But I'm looking at my training currently, and I did go on a cut since last year. Last year, I weighed 105 kilograms somewhere last year. I can't remember exactly where, but I did weigh above 100 kilograms, and I went on a cut. And it wasn't a good cut because I didn't have my nutrition on point. So I didn't get enough protein, all of that stuff. So I'm not exactly happy with how I look, but in reference to where I started. This morning, when I went through all of my media, um, I have like this album on my phone that's about the progress I've made, and it has all the pictures of me since I started training to probably a few weeks ago. I took a new bunch of pictures, and I looked at it and I said, you know what? I might not be happy with what I've done because my training and my nutrition has not been optimal ever since I started training. It's probably the longest I've been optimal with my nutrition has been for about a week, and that was somewhere last year. But compared to how I looked to how I look now, I'm happy. Not where I want to be yet, but I will get there eventually, fixing my diet as well, um, training very hard. And I have been training very hard throughout everything. It's been, you have your off days, you get some bullshit self-limiting beliefs, and you just feel like, oh, today's not going to be a good day in the gym, and it never is when you think like that. So um, right now I'm weighing in at 88 kilograms. So I lost more than 12 kilograms since it was probably last year this time. Had a nice fat face. Some of the video diaries I put up as well, I looked at them and I saw that I had these nice rounded cheeks. Um, yeah, it just looked like I swallowed a pillow or something, but um, I could really notice the fat on my body is not there anymore. So I'm weighing in at 88 kilograms right now. And I also put up some videos on, um, I think it was a couple of max days I did back in 2021. Those were really the last times I ever recorded my maxes. I've never gotten up to them again. Those are my maxes. On the squat, I think you could see I did 162.5. I failed a 165 kilogram. I failed that. So my max for squat is 162.5. And I've never gotten to that point again since I did that. My max on deadlift is 185. And I've never gotten to that point again since I did that. Sometime last year, I did 180 again once, and then it just fell off because my nutrition is shit and I haven't been optimal with it. Obviously, when you cut weight, you get weaker. So I got weaker. And right now, I'm doing something different. I haven't done my maxes in probably 8 months now. The last time I did maxes in any capacity was 8 months ago. And I think I did 140 on squat. It might have been 145, but I could be wrong. Let's just say 140. It's a safe estimate. Um, and on deadlift, I did 160. So that's a long way off from where I was, right? And it's all because I didn't have my training dialed in. I didn't have my nutrition dialed in. But right now, I'm doing something different where I'm not doing maxes. I'm doing 4 sets on my compounds. I'm obviously warming up before that, doing 4 sets, and then trying on my compounds to do 6 to 8 reps. And on deadlift, I limit that to 4 to 6 reps. I'm getting excited though because in my video on FSHD, I said I would not be able to bench press. But the fact of the matter is, I'm bench pressing better than I did before I got the news that I had FSHD. I think this is because I um, developed my technique to such a point where it doesn't really affect me too much. Obviously, it still does. Compared to other people, especially in my gym and people I know that also train, obviously, I'm not going to get anywhere near to the numbers they do. But there's hope because I'm currently bench pressing 4 reps, 40 kilograms. Now, I know if someone's watching this and they say 40 kilograms, that's not that's not a lot. No, you're right, it isn't. But I'm fucking proud of myself because you know what? A year ago, I wouldn't have thought I could do that because I didn't bench press a year ago. I put this limit on myself because of my condition that I would never be able to bench press. And now I'm working towards bench pressing 60 kilograms by the end of the year. And I'm on course to doing that, right? If you have, maybe someone's watching this and they have a genetic disease that's similar to what I have, and they think, oh well, I can't do that. Um, and I'm not a health expert. I'm not gonna tell you what you can't do, but you need to understand your mentality has a very big impact on your physical capabilities as well. So obviously, and that's why I prefaced this by saying that I would not be able to reach the numbers that the people I know do, because I wouldn't say that's not possible, but at this point in my life with unoptimized training, unoptimized nutrition, it's just not a reality. But there is space for improvement, and that's enough for me to be excited about. So 60 kilograms by the end of the year, I'm going to try to hit that. And I'm going to let people know in case I do or don't. Either way, it's something to work towards that I never thought I'd be able to do. My squats at the moment have fallen below 100 kilograms for reps. I think I could do 110, 115 for a single. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think I could do that. Yet to see, but currently I did 85 kilograms, 4 sets, 6 to 8 reps. And that's really why my weight has dropped so low, because I don't think I said I did something new, right? Doing this 4 sets, 6 to 8 reps. I don't think it's optimal, and I'm gonna change it, um, because I want my squat numbers to go up again, and I feel don't feel like this type of setup for squats is efficient. So I'm going to change that to get back up to my numbers, despite being as low in weight as I am, and I am going to start bulking again soon. Don't ask me how soon, but I am going to start bulking again soon. And so, obviously, with the increase in weight, I'm going to get a natural increase in strength as well. So, just to bump those numbers up, I'm going to change my training technique, at least when it comes to squats, because I don't feel that this method of training is congruent to what I want to achieve. And so, I'm going to change that. As it amounts to deadlifts, though, I feel like obviously it's not optimal as well, but I feel like my mentality was bad. A week ago, I injured myself doing 4 sets on deadlifts, and I did 4 sets on 130, but I did my last set for a single because um, I'm also working at the gym. So I'm working two jobs. Two jobs. Okay. I'm working two jobs. And after I finished with my third set, um, someone had come to pay their membership, and I had to just abandon my post. Not optimal, but again, it's part of the job description, right? So I just had to do that. Went out, wrote him his check, gave it back. He gave me the money. Tried to get back in the gym. One of my friends caught up with me. Started talking for, I think, a solid 15 minutes before I could get back to my set. And being the stupid little bastard I am, I decided to just jump right back into the 130. My back hurts for probably 2 days afterwards. It's fixed now, though. And also, I didn't do that with a lifting belt. So that was on me. That was on me. I was stupid for doing that. Next time, I'll just ditch the heavy duty work altogether if I have such a big interruption. But mentality wise, feeling in the zone. Yesterday, I did deadlifts again. And I did. And I started with my warm ups. I usually start with 60 kilograms, jump to 100 kilograms, and then I start with my working weight. And I put 130 on again because you know what? 60 felt like nothing for the first time in a month. 100 felt like nothing for the first time in 5 months. So I just said, I'm going to hit 130. And I did that for 6 reps for 2 sets. Up the ante again. Got my lifting belt, got the straps, 140, 2 sets, 4 reps each. Felt good. My back is fine. Mentality is such an important thing here. Something I'm going to keep in mind. It's something I'm going to work on building forward, because that segues into what I want going forward. And that is going to be trying to monetize myself in the future. I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's better I start now than put it off. Starting now is actually the best thing I could do because it allows me to practice this. Um, I'm going to start writing as well. I want to build on social media, But writing in general is just so appealing to me as well. Because since I was a kid, I wanted to be a fiction author. And you know what? I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try to be an author. I'm going to learn writing to the full extent that I can, whether it is for telling a story, whether it is to better myself, whether it is to sell someone on something. I'm going to learn marketing, sales, I'm going to learn how to write. I'm going to learn how to speak more confidently and get my points actually um, measured down, because I see why people edit videos now. This one is 30 minutes long and I'm still talking about absolutely fucking nothing. So I'm going to learn how to become more confident in speaking, become more efficient in speaking as well. So I'm going to keep uploading videos, um, maybe on a weekly basis, maybe even bi-weekly. We'll see how it goes. But I am going to continue doing this. I'm going to start writing, um, with the goal of getting to my main goal, which is to create content to become self monetized, to monetize myself, to become the product, as someone like Dan Coe would say, right? Productize myself. And that's all I have for today. I might go off on a lot of tangents. I probably will go off on a lot of tangents as I make more videos. But as I practice, I'll get better at limiting the talking points. So, see you again.